Hey guys, welcome back. It's a nice 75 degrees in southeast Wisconsin. We got a nice breeze blowing. We got a lot of work ahead of us. We got all the stuff that we got from Heritage Hills and from Ebert, so we got to put in the ground. We got a eastern red cedar or juniper that we've got to move from where it is currently in the center main garden bed. It's right in the same spot where we want to put the mugo pines. So we're going to move all that out of the way, get everything in the ground. I got a few things I want to update you on the growth, and we got a lot of work. It's a beautiful day, so let's get started. Well, I thought this was going to be a lot harder because I thought I was going to have to dig a much bigger root ball to get this tree up because it was doing so well. Now, once I started getting into it, I found that there was a lot of weed fabric down, and I found that the weed fabric actually goes under the tree roots. So whenever they planted this, they dug a small shallow hole and they planted it right on top of the weed fabric. So the roots are really shallow and were spread out over the top of the weeds. Over the top of the weed fabric. So now the trick is trying to get as many of the roots that we're able to punch through the fabric and into the ground, save as many of those as possible, figure out how we're going to plant this into the ground and keep it alive. Quick update around the flagpole. Our pumpkins and our sunflowers are starting to sprout and come up. Got about 6 pumpkins that are coming up and about 7 sunflowers so far, and it's been just around a week. Just 2 are coming up over here in the smoke bush garden. All right, the cedar's been moved. Now we're gonna get some of these perennials in. We have our fire spinner. It's a ground cover. I think we discussed it in the last video. It's said that in its description it's going to look like a wildfire because of the way the flowers grow. They have year-round peel and the flowers stick around for quite a while, but they end up being this yellow on the outside up to almost like a purple and white in the center. But they're going to grow and fill out this area quite nicely. Then we have our echinacea. They each get to be about the same height, about 20 to 24 inches, but they spread out a little bit differently. The puff vanilla gets to be about 24 inches, while the primo saffron gets to be about 20. The tomato soup gets to be about 30 inches wide. And our tangerine dream is our biggest one that spreads out to be about 32 inches. I think once we get all this in, it starts to come in full bloom. I think it's going to fill this area out nicely, add a lot of color. That's going to be very similar, but it's going to differ from each one of the different sections. This is where we decided to put the swamp milkweed right next to the limelight hydrangea. They both get to be pretty big. They won't interfere with each other if we space them right. With the hydrangea getting between 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, the swamp milkweed will get about 5 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. We do have our butterfly box all set up. We want to keep it away from the main garden areas where people are going to be moving around, mostly because it is toxic to animals and people. I don't think we're going to have any issues with that, but we'd rather be safe than sorry. Now, just beyond our little sea of color we just finished planting, we've got the Harry Lauder's walking stick. As this grows, you should be able to see our next plants underneath and behind it. And that's going to be our floral berry Pinot St. John's wort. Similarly to the sangria that we planted over on the other side of the garden, they have the yellow flowers with the red berries except these leaves stay a little bit lighter. They don't get as dark as the sangria. We got 3 of them to create a little archway here. And then beyond that, we'll hit our centerpiece, which is a fat Albert blue spruce. It gets to be about 8 to 10 feet wide and approximately 15 feet tall. Now, they say that it hits about 10 feet after about 10 years and continues to grow. It's a little bit shorter of the blue spruces, but it does continue to grow and does not stop. And it can be maintained through pruning. Now, in front of that, we're going to create a little hedge with our NC Mugo pines. These don't get too large. They stay about 3 to 4 feet tall and about 4 to 5 feet wide. And they'll grow with these upward like stems, almost like jutting out the top. You can kind of see it as it's growing, and it's still pretty young, but they become more predominant and really stand out as the plant gets older and more developed. Now, beyond that, we have 2 flanks of color. And I saw these arborvitae, and they're such a unique color. They are called a fire chief. Now, they maintain this color year-round, and actually in the fall, they end up getting a lot redder. So it should stand out real nice against all the other colors that we have in the garden. And I thought it was pretty unique to have the fire chief back here. And then we have our ground covering, which is conveniently called a wildfire once it gets growing. Now, I believe this is roughly going to be it for this garden, other than planting our rose over in that corner. I think in that bare spot over here, we're going to put our rose that we got, and the 2 grasses I think are going to go up front. We got some work to do over there, but this is another day. This is our main focus to finish up. All right, the last one we're gonna get in the ground is a sedum. We found this underneath the crabapple tree. While we're doing some weeding and clearing it out, one of them got pulled out accidentally, so we decided to thin it out a little bit. Grabbed 2 of them, and we decided to transplant them over here. Griffin, what do you smell?
Smell cow food.
The joys of living in Wisconsin in the country. All right, we got everything in. This area is nearly complete. The last thing we need to put in is a drip line. We planned on doing that for this video, except we figured out we ran about 50 to 100 yards short of our lead line, our 1/2 inch. So we're gonna be picking that up today or tomorrow, and I think that's gonna end up being a different video. We still gotta figure out and finish planning exactly how that's gonna go down. But I would say everything is looking good. We're waiting on the mulch. Once that gets here, we'll remulch this whole area, get the drip tube down, and it'll be done. We'll give you a full garden tour when that's all complete. But for now, we got a birthday party to head out to see Uncle Paulie. Happy birthday, Uncle Paulie. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.